Today I am going to try to answer the most popular and most impossible question that I get asked on my channel, which is how much money do I need to live in Costa Rica? Stay tuned. Alright, I am here to try to answer the most impossible question, which is how much does it cost to live in Costa Rica? Well, the reason why that's so impossible to answer is because there's no context to it. Everyone asks that with zero context. I don't know if you're coming here with your wife or your 4 kids, or you have maybe some sort of underlying issue where you need some sort of medication every week. There's so many different variations to this question, and I can't answer it for everybody. So I'm just gonna give you a little bit of insight on how I did it, and maybe that'll help you figure it out for yourself. I once had this girl say to me, I want to live on the river in a little hut and have chickens and just live off the land. And I was like, well, I mean, in reality, if that's what you wanted to do, you'd already be doing that, and you wouldn't be online asking me this question, because you'd have no internet, you'd have no lights, you'd have no power, you'd have no water, and you'd already be living this life. You would already know how to live that life. You wouldn't be asking me a question. If you could do that, you wouldn't be online asking questions like that. I promise. There is a Nicaragua family right across the river from me that actually do live that life, and I get to watch them every day sit there, wash their clothes in the river. They have no power, they have no water in their house. When they use the bathroom, I have no idea what they do. As you know, beautiful as that sounds, so free and off the grid, I don't know, I get to watch them every day, and I don't find it like something that I want to do. I thought one time that I wanted to live that life, and now I get to watch people live that life. It's not really the life for me. Maybe to a degree, you know, one day I'd like to be a little more off the grid, but man, it's a hard life. It's a hard life, especially here in Costa Rica in the rainy season. Like, it's not an easy life to live, washing your clothes in the river, and you have to worry about, you know, if the river's flooding, or if the river's so dirty from all the water from up the mountain, or, you know, there's so many variations to that. So it's definitely, if you're one of those people that want to live off the grid, you probably won't be asking me that question of how much money to live in Costa Rica, because you already know it's really, I mean, you can do it for free if you want to live that life. If you really want to come here and live off the river and try to find fruit. I mean, up here in San Isidro, there's a lot of lemons. I mean, avocados are in season for most of the year. Mango season, you'll find tons of mangoes, but that's about it. If you could live off of lemons, avocados, and mangoes, I guess give it a shot. But I knew when I was coming here that I had to be more realistic. So what we did, for those who don't know, I came here with my ex-girlfriend from New Jersey, and she got into an accident right when I met her, and wound up, you know, in a couple years after that, finally wound up getting like $60,000. She spent most of that, got down to like 20 grand. And I asked her one day on the way to work, I was like, do you want to keep on doing this, or do you want to like move to Costa Rica? She was like, let's go, let's get the hell out of here. So 6 months later, long story short, we moved here with $20,000. That $20,000 lasted a year and a half. Now, once that money was gone, she was like, I don't have any other way to make money here. I don't really want to be here. It wasn't really what she wanted, so she went back, and I had the decision to make of staying here full time or going back with her. But I was making a couple $100 a month, and my rent was only $89. I was like, I'm just gonna ride this out and see what happens. And here I am 5 years later. Well, 3.5 years later from that point, but 5 years in Costa Rica. So when I moved here, I mean, in my mind, I wanted to be here forever, but I wasn't going to do that. I was going to keep a more realistic mindset and say 1 year, if I make it a year, we'll reevaluate. We'll try for 2. 2 years works, I'll try for 5. If 5 years works, pretty much here for life. And now, while 20 grand only lasted a year and a half, I look back on the way we lived, and you know, we definitely could have lived a little more frugal. We went out a lot, we went and saw a lot of things, and if I thought about it for 20 grand now, hold on. If I thought about 20 grand now, I would definitely be able to make it last a lot longer. But you know, when you first get to Costa Rica, you want to see things, you want to go to waterfalls, you want to, you know, we had to buy a truck. We just lived life for a year. We didn't know what this place was going to bring, we didn't know how long we would be here, so we wanted to enjoy it while we were here. Horses. So basically what I think is, you should come here with the mindset of being here for a year and enjoying your time here. So you're gonna need a little extra money. So if you come here with 20 grand, you know, if you think about rent, I mean, really, in reality right now, the lowest you're gonna find rent is $400, $450 a month. To find a place for $89 like I found, it's really just so rare that you just, don't think that way. Don't think you're gonna come here right off the bat, find a place that's under $100 a month. It's not gonna happen. So you're looking at about $450 a month, plus utilities, plus if you want to buy a truck, that's like 3 grand. I mean, you're already at $10,000 for a year. You definitely want to have at least a year in savings, because if you don't, I mean, where are you going to get your money if everything fails? Also, you want to have some sort of income, like whether it's like me, graphic design, where you do some sort of work online, where you could bring in some money, because you're gonna have to have like, don't come here like I did and try to figure it out. Already have it established, because man, it was a hard first 6 months in Costa Rica. I could not make a dollar. I was trying and trying and trying, and then one day I got my first job, and it all kind of went from there. From then, it's kind of went to shit because of COVID and AI and everything else. AI pretty much took my job. Now I just do YouTube and sell coffees. I mean, I'm making like, to be serious, like less than $200 a month. I'm not doing too great now. In time, once the rainy season's over, we'll probably make some more money with the coffee thing, but you gotta figure out a way to make money here. So number one, come here with a decent amount of cash, at least a year's worth of savings, at least. And like I said, I would start off with 20,000, because that's just, it just makes sense. And then after that, after the first year, you can kind of figure out your spendings. You can figure out, you know, how much you spend on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis, and then recalculate that. And then honestly, like whatever that dollar amount is, whatever you think your budget is for a year, add 10 grand to it, man, for safety. And so, you know, you could see where it starts to be like, oh, well, where am I going to get an extra $10,000 a year? Well, you got to figure out how to make money. You gotta do some sort of online work, whether it's, you know, like I said, like accounting online or whatever it is. There's ways to make it. There's definitely ways to make money, but you know, especially like I said, like with AI and everything else right now, a lot of those online jobs are kind of dwindling. A lot of jobs are dwindling. So things are getting a little harder as the years go on. You know, obviously if you got a ton of money, you could come here and start flipping and all that, but those aren't the people asking me the questions. The people asking me this question usually are looking for the quick, easy answer. They just want to grab like 5 grand, come to Costa Rica and think that they're going to live off the land. If that's your life, you could probably do it, but like I said, if you're one of those people that are doing that, you wouldn't be asking me this question. So for me, like I said, it was 20 grand. We came here with 20 grand. And from then, I mean, I've been living pretty good. I've got, you know, you guys helping me out all the time. between my buddy Pete and his wife, you know, they're always helping me out, you know, for years. Whew, for years. I remember when my ex first left, there was a good year where I would call Pete, be like, yo bro, I got nothing to eat tonight. He'd be like, come on over and we'll cook some dinner, you know? So thank God for people like Pete and Sam. Thank God for you guys on YouTube that would give me donations on PayPal. You like funded my last couple years in Costa Rica. Literally, I would wake up with like $100 donation and I'd be like, oh my God, you have no idea what that just did for me. Like, you just put me, you know, $100 when you're paying $89 rent. That shit just, all that money just kind of starts accumulating, and it really helps you out. So if you're gonna try to make it here, man, you gotta have some sort of income. Like I said, $450 a month is probably your base when it comes to renting a house. And you got to think about the water, the electric, getting a truck, getting gas, getting, you know, going from this place to that place. Even if you were going to live off the land and have a garden in your house and have some little shack by a river, you need at least a good 6 months to start growing things, you know? Things aren't just, you know, people think you're just going to walk over and just grab like avocados and stuff. Like, avocados are way the hell up there, and by the time they fall, they're ruined. So it's not, I understand the mindset. I've been there. I thought about it. I thought that you know, you could just walk over and just grab some fruit and start eating and live off the land like that. It's not really like that. It's not really like that. There are spots for sure, but normally if you find like an avocado tree or a mango tree, it's on somebody's property. And you can't be just walking on people's property and taking their fruit. You could ask them, but I mean, you can't live off their land. So it's a tough question. It's a real tough question, but really, I mean, very base. You want to come here with 20 grand, because 10 grand the first year is gone. 10 grand the first year is gone. That's just on rent and a truck. That's not including gas. It's not including food. It's not including fun, you know? I mean, what's the point of coming to Costa Rica for a year and just sitting in your house and doing absolutely nothing because you have no money? I mean, just go get a job in wherever you're from and, you know, save up some more money for another year or two and then come here and do that. But it is getting harder and harder to live here, because it is getting more and more expensive. The dollar is going to hell. Food prices are skyrocketing. I mean, I literally say everything in Costa Rica costs 20 mil now, which is $40. Just like in the States, everything is $100. I don't know why. You can't leave your house without spending $100. You go to freaking Starbucks and you walk out and you're like, I just spent $100. Here, it's the same thing. It's 20 mil. Everything is 20 mil. I go into the store, I buy a couple of things. I buy some eggs, some milk, a couple of things, and I walk out. I'm like, I just spent $40. How did that happen? And it's like, there's nothing. You buy nothing and you get, it's $40. It's insane. It's insanity. It's not getting any better. It's only going to get worse. So if you're coming here with that mindset, yes, you do want to have a garden. Yes, you do want to have, you know, live off the land a little bit. But it's going to take a while to do that. And imagine this. You're living off the land, you're doing your thing, you go out for the day, you go to a waterfall, you come back, and you find out that the leafcutter ants have come into your yard and eaten all your pepper plants. Now what? You know? You gotta have a backup plan. If you want to do this forever, do it for a year, reevaluate, try it for 2, reevaluate again, and see where you're at. By then you'll know what you're doing. By then you'll know if you can make it. But don't come here with the mindset, don't sell all of your stuff and then come here thinking you're gonna live here forever. Because those are the people that don't make it. Those are the people that wind up going back in 6 months. I see it too much. A lot of people come here and they're like, Chens, I wanna live your life. I wanna do everything you do. And they watch all my videos on my channel and they do none of that. They come here and they eat out all day, you know, and I get it. That's, you see me doing that, but I do that for you guys. I mean, normally, you know, there's so many times where I'm looking to make a video, I don't even know what to do. So I'm like, all right, well, let's just go to the bar and have some chicken wings and make something of it, you know. but you're just spending money with, you know, it's just not the way here. So if you want to live that quiet, off the grid life, you got to do it slowly. You got to figure it out slowly. You can't, it's not going to happen overnight. You're definitely going to need at least 6 months to figure out, you know, your situation. Even if you found a long-term rental, Costa Rica has this weird thing where they don't have to tell you that they're selling the house, or they don't have to tell you that you have 6 months to get out, or 3 months to get out, or 3 weeks to get out. They just kick you out. They'll just, they're like, next weekend you gotta go, you know. So that's another thing you got to think about. If you're renting, you can be kicked out of any place at any time. So you might have your perfect little spot, like I had down in Tres Rios, $89 a month. Right before Christmas, it was December 15th, and she said, you have to be out by next weekend, I'm selling the house. I had no idea. She never warned me, she never told me anything. So then it was like scrambling to find another place. Thank God I found a place just for another 100 more a month, and that saved my life, because if I had to rent something for $400 a month, I'd have been done. I would have had to go home. So just be cautious, be careful, don't spend all your money. My philosophy in Costa Rica is that I want to be here forever, so I want to see it all one day, but one day. I don't need to see it right now. Right now I need to figure it out. I need to figure out how to make that long-term money, how to make that long-term goal happen, you know. There's a lot that goes into it, and man, I mean, like, look right here, there's these bananas right here, beautiful, right? But those are somebody else's bananas, man. You can't just go over there and take the bananas. So like I said, 20,000 start off at least, because you're gonna spend 10,000 in the first year, very minimum, and that's at $500 a month. So think, I mean, right now, to even find a house right now for $500 a month is not that easy. Most places now are going for $1,000 a month. It's ridiculous. So be mindful, just slow and steady, people, slow and steady. And also, I know most of you probably know this, but just to put it in perspective, like this guanabana tree and this mango tree and this mango tree, they weren't here 5 years ago when I first moved here. This lot of land there was nothing here but just grass. And now he has this beautiful guanabana and this beautiful mango and this beautiful mango, but this one just bared its first fruit this year. This one hasn't yet, and this one hasn't yet either. This guanabana tree has not even bared its first fruit. So just to put things in perspective of how long it takes to get things growing here. And like I said, you could put your plant in the ground and then come back and find out that the ants have eaten it, or it's gotten a disease and it died, or, you know, many years of growing could just go to disaster, or you get kicked out of your dream home and you have to start all over, you know. That's just the things that happen here in Costa Rica. Again, be mindful, people, be mindful. Don't ruin it for yourself. I hear too many people coming to Costa Rica and then they go home and they say, I can't stand Costa Rica, I can't stand it. They just did it wrong, or they didn't meet the right people when they got here, or you got screwed over. You know, there's so many different factors, so many different ways that things can go wrong. So just be mindful. Oh, the smell of a fresh lemon leaf, absolutely beautiful. Just be smart, people. Don't do what I did. Don't come here with zero backup plan. Always have a backup plan. I just made it work. I met the right people, I got put in the right positions, and here I am 5 years later. But that doesn't happen for everybody. It definitely has. I've definitely seen it go wrong for plenty of people. So be safe out there, people. Save up some money, save up at least 20 grand. I would make it 25 just because. And if you can do that, then man, you know, if you can make it on 20 grand here a year, you pretty much, you got it down. You know what I mean? You got it down. You're gonna want to have some fun in the beginning. You're gonna want to have some fun, you know, throughout your life. Whatever you find is fun, you know, you know, some people just enjoy sitting by the river, and I do too. But I also like to go out and enjoy my life. So be mindful of your spending now while you're in whatever country you're in. Pay attention to what you're buying, especially when you come to Costa Rica. A lot of people want to eat organic and vegan and stuff like that, and that's fine, again, if you have a whole farm. But if you're buying that stuff in the supermarket, I mean, it's $20 for a bag of pecans. It's $20 for a bag of organic sugar, and it's like this big. So just think about the things that you want and the things that you need, and do some research, man. Do some research. Don't do it on a whim. Don't do it on a whim. Do not just come here with a couple $100s, a couple $1,000 in your pocket and think that it's gonna work out, because you're gonna go home salty. Anyway, guys, I hope that helps out. I hope that helps you guys out. I am going to jump in this river. It is hot. The rain came earlier and now the sun came back out. It is hot again. So I'm gonna jump in this river and cool down. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments if this helps you. Also, if you have any input, please put it in the comments. Help other people out. I love you guys so much. Stay safe. Save up that money. Man, it is not cheap in Costa Rica, I can promise you that. But I'll be making a video on that too. So stay tuned. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. Help your boy out. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you guys on the next adventure. Chenzaloon out. You.